kids and you can't pay for pre-K? Why'd you have the kids? It's like, oh, we need lunches, free lunches. Like, so you had kids and you don't have enough money to give them lunch? I don't get this. This
All right.
is socialist nonsense.
When we come back, well, we kind of missed this on Friday. On Friday, Governor Dippity-Doo announced a vaccine mandate for the schools, right? Public and private? Not the teachers or the staff, just the students. He was asked about that, and he said, we don't have to do that at the moment, but I think it's the power of the unions.
Well, yeah. He was paid not to give them a mandate. You know what's weird? So the teachers pretty much went on strike for a year and a half. Partly, they claimed, was there was no vaccine for them. And there was no vaccine for the kids. And now some of them don't even get vaccinated. And they pay off Newsom not to get a mandate?
We'll talk about that, and we'll talk about how, wow, New Zealand gave up. We're not going to make COVID zero. They had a lockdown going on.
Yeah,
The Prime Minister there was obsessed with having no cases.
I used to like the idea of that country, now I realize they're lunatics.
More coming up.
John and Ken Kfi, Deborah Mark has news.
A homeless man in L.A. has been sentenced to more than 4 years in federal prison for pouring bleach into refrigerators and freezers at various Ralph's grocery stores. Members of the International Association of Theatrical Stage Employees have voted to authorize a strike. That may mean many film and TV productions to shut down. The wife of Florida Governor Ron DeSantis has been diagnosed with breast cancer. DeSantis' wife will have his unwavering support as she faces the most difficult test of her life. We'll go to the 210 and we will check in with the KFI in the sky next.
If you have rotted, decayed teeth, your mouth is so bad you need an intervention. It could be your upper teeth, your lower teeth, or all your teeth. Well, Cunning Dental has new permanent teeth in a day, and they'll replace all the teeth, one shot, one day. There's zirconia teeth. They look completely natural. They feel like real teeth. You can bite and chew. You can bite and chew like you used to. And they're stronger and more resistant to cracking, chipping, and staining. These are better teeth than the ones you were born with, obviously. Attend a free seminar to learn all about this on Saturday the 9th in Irvine. And you'll meet real patients who have new permanent teeth. You'll see how dazzling their smiles are. You can get $1,500 off your procedure now. This offer expires November 30th. They offer no money down payment plans on approved credit. Use your dental insurance before the end of the year. You'll lose it. Call Cunning Dental 888-640-SMILE. 888-640-SMILE. 888-640-SMILE.
During the extended 2-day sale at Ashley Home Store, take advantage of 50% off store-wide, plus another 5% off when you finance for 36 months. Going on now through October 11th only. America's #1 mattress and furniture store, Ashley Home Store. This is home.
Southland weather from KFI will be sunny tomorrow afternoon with highs in the mid-70s to low 80s. This report brought to you by Ashley Home Store. It's slow on the 210 in Pasadena.
We're looking at eastbound delays here, and it's getting very crowded and slow away from Lincoln. Delays taking you all the way to Azusa. Then beyond, you've got some slowing through San Dimas, opening up into the upland area. More delays from Baseline as you travel towards the 15. Now, we've got Mike O'Brien, but we may not have him. We're going to check. He's in Anaheim Hills, KFI in the Sky, sponsored by injury attorney, superwomansuperlawyer.com.
Yeah, I think I've just got enough altitude here. We got thunderstorms and rain that is moving in, so we're going to have to land this beat. Now, it's going to be a beat to the drive on the 91. 91 eastbound. You can't be up there just past Imperial Highway. First stretch heavy into a problem there at about Green River on the right shoulder. Also at Corolla, you'll be on the brakes there from Lincoln on and off into Riverside. Looks like a problem coming up on the 57 at Diamond Bar. 57 northbound. It's just about Diamond Bar Boulevard. Looks like a middle lane or two blocks. That's already adding this line to Connor Canyon up through Diamond Bar. And I definitely noticed quite a rain cell moving through that neck of the woods. Injured in an accident? Visit superwomansuperlawyer.com. Mike O'Brien, KFI in the Sky.
Rain and delays, Long Beach, 710 northbound from the south end of the freeway to the 91. KFI in the Sky helps get you there faster. I'm Angel Martinez.
This report is sponsored by Spectrum Business. Small businesses are always looking for ways to cut costs. That's why they should switch to Spectrum Business. They could cut their internet and phone bill in half while getting faster internet speeds and proven reliability. Call 888-489-2212 today.
Most Californians live within 30 miles from an active fault, and earthquakes can happen anywhere and any time in the Golden State. So, do you know how to protect yourself when an earthquake strikes? Make sure your home, workplace, school, and community are planning to practice how to drop, cover, and hold on during the Great Shakeout. Get prepared and worry less. Join us for the Great Shakeout. This message is brought to you by StrengthenMyHouse.com. Shakeout Day is October 21st.
Hi, it's Erin Andrews here for my friends at Cuddly. Each year, 6.5 million animals enter rescue centers looking for a second chance at life. The community on Cuddly helps these underdogs win. Cuddly champions animal rescues and makes it easy for you to donate essential items like food, toys, medication, and even surgery to the animal of your choice. Log on to Cuddly.com and learn how you can save a furry friend today.
Impact Mortgage Corp. DBA Cash Call Mortgage. NMLS 1282331. Equal housing lender. Not licensed in all states including New York. Offer leasing loans over $250,000. Call 855-657-9910 for licensing terms and restrictions.
What's better than a mortgage interest rate and APR in the twos? How about a no closing cost mortgage loan with an interest rate and APR in the twos? That's right. We have no closing cost loans here at Cash Call Mortgage. We pay the title, escrow, and appraisal fees. So if you're looking to save a little cash on your monthly mortgage payment, call Cash Call Mortgage today. Our quotes are always free. If your mortgage rate APR is not in the twos, Cash Call Mortgage could lower your interest rate and save you some cash. What are you waiting for? With low rates and no closing cost options, now is the time to refinance your mortgage. For a free quote to see if you qualify, go to cashcallmortgage.com or call us today. Call 800-633-0861. That's 800-633-0861. 800-633-0861.
Drew, do you know what's really spooky during Halloween? What, Dad? Your old mattress. Because after 8 years, an old mattress loses support and comfort and can collect sweat, dead skin, and dust mites.
So if your mattress is over 8, it's time to replace during Sit and Sleep's fall sale. Save $1,000 on select mattresses from Beautyrest, Kingston, and Sealy's, and $700 on Pepper adjustable sets.
So this Halloween season, trust your sleep to Sit and Sleep.
For dreams that are sweeter than a pumpkin spice latte.
That sounds good, Drew.
Attention homeowners. Interactive Mortgage has dropped rates again to a rock bottom 1.75% rate in APR. Yes, it's incredible. A rock bottom 1.75%. And if that's not enough, Interactive Mortgage will even pay your title, escrow, and appraisal fees. That's right, no points and no fees. Absolutely zero. Zilch. None. So what are you waiting for? Call now and take advantage of these never-before-offered rates. A 1.75% rate in APR with no fees whatsoever. Call Interactive Mortgage now at 844-371-CASH. That's 844-371-CASH. 844-371-2274. Or visit interactivemortgage.com. Windpoint Corporation, DBA Interactive Mortgage, Equal Housing Lender. Terms and conditions apply. New clients only. Loan amount $300,000 to $548,250. Minimum FICO of 740 and maximum LTV of 60%. All loans subject to underwriting approval, and not all applicants will qualify. Loans made or arranged pursuant to California Finance Law License Number 603F938. NMLS Number 302352.
I want you to know what happened overnight. I want you to know the news of the day, but I also want you not to be ambushed. I want you to get up gently, have a cup of coffee, and let me tell you what's going on.
Wake up call, mornings at 5 on KFI.
Johnny Ken Show, John Cobell, and Ken Chapo, KFI Am from 40. Live everywhere in the iHeartRadio app.
Sorry, I've just been told that Todd Spitzer is coming on the show.
Good.
At 5:20. He apparently was worked up about the oil spill. Well, I should say the oil leak.
There's no excuse for this.
Broken pipeline.
No excuse for this. Must be a really bad company that allowed this to happen.
Yeah.
Amplify.
City, Huntington Beach.
Jeez, come on. There are things that just shouldn't happen anymore, and an oil leak in the ocean is one of them. The technology that's available to the world.
We'll start with Steve Gregory with a full update on the spill, and then Todd Spitzer, who apparently spoke to the media today about doing his own investigation, will come on at 5:20. Now, let me just read you this, because I mentioned before the break that New Zealand has given up. You've not been there, right, John?
No, I want to go there, but...
You should go there. It is quite a place. North and South Island.
Yeah, but it's run by lunatics.
Well, yes, we find that out with COVID. New Zealand has tried to have a COVID zero approach They're very proud because they're an island nation. They can keep out immigrants. They can keep out a lot of riffraff. So there were times when they didn't have any cases. But every time they get a case, they were freaking out. So starting tomorrow, because they've given up, this may surprise you. It may look California look kind of sane. Residents of Auckland, which is on the North Island, so the capital, and apparently that's where the latest outbreak occurred, for the first time since August, will be permitted to meet with members of other households outdoors. There'll be a more permissive approach to outdoor exercise at the city's parks and beaches. Yeah, they were going with the outdoor transmission thing. They're that nutty. Wow. By the way, I don't think they have 60% vaccination, which is one of the problems there.
Well,
yeah.
that's the New Zealanders'
48% have received 2 doses.
The New Zealanders shouldn't have put up with that. And if they did, they're foolish, silly people. There was never a reason to have outdoor restrictions of any kind anywhere. Nobody catches the virus outdoors.
No.
They don't have a single case of somebody catching the virus outdoors because they were casually walking by someone or playing a sport or anything of that nature.
Yeah.
I suppose if you had somebody shouting in your face for 20 minutes and they sprayed you with a big viral load, that could happen. But outdoors means wind, and wind disperses the aerosol droplets.
Yeah, this was crazy town from the New Zealand Prime Minister.
What is this with zero COVID? We've never tried to get zero anything in our lives.
Yeah, the story says most of the world is just living with COVID, but there's a few countries, and I didn't know this, China is still trying for zero COVID. Of course, we don't trust anything they say anyway.
Yeah, that is scientifically, realistically impossible. I mean, why would you even think of such a concept? That's not possible. We share the planet with millions of pathogens. There's an unlimited number, millions, billions of bacteria and viruses and fungus and amoebas and all kinds of things that can infect us. It's always been that way. People have always died. Billions of people have died before today. Nobody makes it out. What is this?
Yeah, apparently this Prime Minister said a few months ago, we're trying to eliminate the virus.
Well, you can't.
Some epidemiologists were still advising her to go for a zero COVID strategy. Now they say it's clear that ending and easing restrictions ended any chance of wiping out the virus again.
Why were they so worried about people getting sick?
And by the way, they're only getting dozens of cases a day. There's 4 million people in New Zealand. About 3 million on the North Island, 1 million on the South Island. It's not that big a country.
And you know what happens is you just extend the length of the virus's circulation. Because the virus has to infect everybody who's not vaccinated. Eventually it will. Everybody will get it.
With our lockdowns, because the minute people started doing anything, we had more surges.
With 50 states, we had 50 different approaches, and nobody won this game. It didn't matter, what governor was in charge or what party. It didn't matter if you were rural or urban, you were crowded or spacious. It didn't matter if you were highly restricted or lightly restricted. It didn't matter. Everybody took their turn. Everybody had a couple of big waves. And the people with the most elderly and the fattest, if you're obese, diabetic, heart disease, you had a chance of dying. Or if you were really old. Everybody else was fine.
Now, go ahead.
No, what's funny is there's probably not one person in the country who, after going through this for a year and a half, says, you know what? I think I'm going to lose 30 pounds. Because I could have bit the dirt. I got to hit the dirt.
The dirt bit the dirt.
Bit the dirt. No, really.
As soon as you bite the dust.
You bite the dust. I could have bit the dust and hit the dirt. That would be a rational reaction. But there's not one person. There's not going to be fewer people obese a year from now. There's going to be more people obese for a year from now. There'll be more potential victims.
So what is the one island place that we have in this country?
Hawaii.
Hawaii does still have rules. If you want to go there and you're from the U.S., you just have to show proof of full vaccination or a negative COVID test. And you can actually download it into one of their portals, Hawaii Safe Travel. Apparently a couple from L.A. put fake tests in there. Fake COVID-19 test results. I don't know how the Hawaiian government found this out, but they were detained, but they were allowed to go free. They came back to L.A.
What's the point of that?
Well, they wanted to go to Hawaii, but apparently they weren't vaccinated or they didn't have proof, and they probably didn't even want to. Well, maybe they had COVID, but they didn't want to get tested.
I was going to say.
They put falsified negative test results into the portal. They arrived on an American Airlines flight from L.A. earlier this week.
What a couple of dopes.
And
Are
they
there
must have
pictures
gotten
around? I
flagged
want to
and
look at them.
No, they're not even named, although I thought I saw names earlier this morning. And I thought I saw that the man was a former NFL player, but I forget where I saw that. And the story I have here from the pile doesn't have their names, no. Why, you want to publicly humiliate them?
No, I want to see what they look like.
Oh, what they look like.
Yeah,
Well, maybe I can find out during the break. All right, when we come back, a lot going on. Steve Gregory, we'll get a full update from him about the oil spill affecting Orange County beaches. And then the Orange County District Attorney Todd Spitzer wants to weigh in on the whole legal situation here. Coming up.
Johnny Ken Show. Deborah Mark has the news. KFI AM 640.
If you find a smart device that can't play KFI, maybe it's time to replace it.
KFI.
And KOST HD2.
Los Angeles, Orange County.
Live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
Trying to get answers. I'm Deborah Mark, live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. Oil from a busted pipeline off the coast of Huntington Beach has been spotted along Laguna Beach.
Coast Guard officials say the oil is headed south.
We know that there is oil off the coastline showing up on the beaches in the forms of small quantities. We call them tar balls or patties. It's a sticky oil that gets caught in the sand.
Captain Rebecca Orr says more than a dozen boats are working to surround and retrieve the crude oil. Amplify Energy's Martin Wilshire says divers are trying to pinpoint if the leak was a structural failure or a ship's anchor. Wilshire says 127,000 gallons may have leaked on Saturday, which is the equivalent of 3,111 barrels. Steve Gregory, KFI News.
And Steve will be on with John and Ken after the news with much more. OC District Attorney Todd Spitzer says Amplify Energy should not be allowed to lead an investigation into the cause of the oil spill.
They shouldn't be able to go anywhere near that pipeline. They are biased, they're self-interested, and they're going to do everything they can to try to reduce their damages. And no one should touch that pipeline. No one from this company.
The company says it plans to send divers down to look at what caused the leak. Spitzer says any investigation needs to be supervised by the Coast Guard or the OC Sheriff's Department. Todd Spitzer will be on John and Ken's show around 5:20 with more. Efforts have been going on to save wildlife from this spill.
Wildlife teams are now looking for what they call oiled animals in an effort to save them.
We're currently actively searching from north of Bolsa Chica down to Laguna and farther south.
Dr. Michael Sicardi with the Oiled Wildlife Care Network says so far 4 birds have been found and one of those birds has died.
Unfortunately, the brown pelican had chronic injuries that required us to humanely euthanize it yesterday.
4 wildlife care facilities are now standing by, ready to take in animals affected by the oil spill. In Huntington Beach, Blake Trolley, KFI News.
The company that runs the pipeline does have a history of safety and environmental violations. Records show it's been cited 72 times for such violations and 125 times since 1980. Beta Operating has also been fined $85,000 for 3 incidents. The news is brought to you by Choice Administrators Insurance. Part of MacArthur Park near downtown L.A. will shut down temporarily later this month to clean up the place. About 200 homeless people live in the park's south side next to the lake. The area is set to shut down October 15th for 10 weeks. L.A. City Councilman Gil Cedillo's office says the homeless in MacArthur Park will be offered housing and services. Facebook says it has fixed networking issues that caused its platforms to shut down for several hours. ABC's Derek Dennis says the outage also knocked out service to Instagram and WhatsApp.
Blamed on a worldwide outage of Facebook's DNS servers, which essentially means all of its platforms stopped existing on the internet. In its latest statement, Facebook offers sincere apologies to everyone impacted.
Platforms went down this morning and more than 3 billion users around the world were affected. And the governor of Missouri has refused to stop the planned execution of a convicted killer despite pleas for mercy from the Post, 2 members of Congress, and thousands of people who signed petitions. The inmate, Ernest Johnson, was found guilty of killing 3 convenience store workers during a robbery in 1994. They were shot and attacked with a claw hammer, and one was stabbed in the hand with a screwdriver. Johnson's execution is set for tomorrow night. We have a crash on the 710 in Long Beach.
This one is along the northbound side coming up on Pacific Coast Highway. A couple cars bumped because there's some pretty slick conditions down there. Some heavy rain just rolled through, and these guys, the crash are out of lanes at Pacific Coast Highway, but delays are loading up from the south end of the 710 freeway. The volume, it picks up a couple miles an hour as you continue north towards the 91 freeway. Both directions of the 91 just absolutely jam-packed right now between the 110 freeway and the 5. We're staying on the 91 eastbound. More slowing ahead from the 55 freeway as you travel into Corona, the Flat Green River, and then more delays in Corona from Main Street as you head towards Madison. Kfi in the sky helps get you there faster. I'm Angel Martinez.
MyCalToys.com, a California different approach to healthcare.
A little cooler, we'll tell you about that next.
All right, let's talk about rising prices. You see it everywhere. When you go to the grocery store, you go to the gas pump. Some call it Bidenflation. Have you heard that term, John?
Bidenflation?
Yeah, I saw that one of the right-wing websites. Bidenflation.
Highest point in 40 years.
Car and home insurance are no exception to this, so listen up.
This is the best time to call AIS to save money on car and home insurance.
Just get your insurance policies together and call AIS. They're going to spend the time to find out where they can save you money. Now, we're telling you this because they did it for us. They can do it for you.
We have saved thousands of dollars over the years.
Here, give me some right now. No?
Sorry.
You're part of the
right.
paper.
Yes, that's right.
Look, with prices rising, you have to find places to save. Customers save an average of $640 when they switch to AIS, and it's just about the easiest thing you're going to do all day.
Give AIS 5 minutes and see how much you could be saving on car and home insurance.
There you go, 800-7774-AIS, AISinsurance.com.
1-800-777-4-AIS. Hey, it's Dean Sharp. Have you still not gone solar? Let me help clear up some misconceptions. Solar doesn't cost you money. It saves you money. And it doesn't matter where your panels are made. It matters who makes them. And those $29.95 solar specials, they're not what's going to end up on your home. Sunlux left all of that behind to build a company that does solar better. Time for solar. It's time for Sunlux. Get started today at sunlux.com. That's sunlux.com. CSLB 1008374.
The KFI Financial Report brought to you by Bay Alarm. The Dow closed down 324, S&P 500 down 57, NASDAQ down 311, and the average price of a gallon of regular gas in California is $4.40.
With a range of commercial fire and security solutions, Bay Alarm can protect it all with just one call.
Southland weather from KFI. We have showers and thunderstorms in some areas. Tomorrow we do have a slight chance of more showers. Then it should be sunny in the afternoon with highs in the upper 70s for Metro LA. Mid-70s to low 80s in the valleys, upper 70s to low 80s in inland OC and the IE. Right now it's 76 in Seal Beach, 77 Costa Mesa, 85 in North Hollywood, and 70 in Santa Monica. We lead local live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. I'm Deborah Mark.
John and Ken Show, John Cobelt and Ken Shampo, KFI, AM 640 live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
Well, this thunder, lightning is complicating the cleanup efforts for this oil spill because you can't really be out there on the water trying to clean up the oil when you got that passing through.
Yeah.
So that's a bad break, considering we don't get much thunder, lightning, and rain here in Southern California.
Yeah, thunderstorms would come 2 days after the oil spill.
That's the oil leak. They say they have contained and stopped the oil from leaking. Now, you go like this. The Amplify CEO, Martin Wilshire, said, well, we haven't pinpointed the origin of the spill. We've inspected 8,000 feet of pipeline, and we found, John, an area of interest. Yes, people have person of interest.
An area of interest. Maybe that's the hole.
Divers are going to go down and take a first look.
Well, Steve Gregory is here. It's actually a significant point of interest. Ooh, that's what he said. A more significant point of interest. Significant. And now they're trying to decide whether or not, or determine
whether this was a structural failure or whether a ship's anchor hit it and either knocked it loose or popped a hole in it.
Structural failure means it's corroded
like
pipe.
corroded, yeah.
I just wonder, why do they think it's a ship's anchor? Like, where did they get that information from? Or is that some kind of cover story?
I'm suspecting this is one of the reasons why Todd Spitzer, the DA of Orange County, has jumped in the fray and said, we're not going to take the word of your divers. We want our own divers to go down there.
Because I was coming on at 5:20 to expound.
Well, of course he is. I mean, that's what Todd does. But, yeah, when I heard he was down there, I said, what's he doing there about the oil spill? But then I realized when he stepped up to the mic, it was very interesting because, you know, after the press conference was over at noon, it was interesting that the Coast Guard set all these parameters, you know, very subtly. Thank you for coming. These are the rules. I'm like, oh. And then they're like, please state your name and your media affiliation. You will be allowed one question and one follow-up. And that's it. So they introduced everyone there, but the only people who spoke at the initial press conference was the Coast Guard, the Fish and Game person, and then the Martin Wilson from Amplify. Yeah. So they were the three speakers, and it was over. And they took some questions, and then they started getting it, as reported to, started getting deep in the weeds, and then the lady would come back and say, we're going to stick with the one question, please, and the one follow-up only.
Do reporters ever say F you?
Yeah.
We're going to ask as many as we want.
Yeah, but we don't say it quite like that. We just keep doing it.
Yeah.
And then, and eventually, they just said, we're done, and they walked away. Then someone said, Mike, you hear him going, well, what about the local officials over here? Because you had Spitzer and everybody else, and are we going to be able to talk to them? And then you hear, they're going to have an event later.
Well, we're already set up. Let's just do it now. Why aren't we doing it now?
So then they got into all this, and Spitzer walks up there.
Oh, yeah, I figured he'd beat everyone else.
Oh, yeah, he was just beating the crap out of people. Let me get it there. And he takes the emblem off the, you know, he's like, I'm removing all this. So he's getting up there and getting toward the emblem. Well, I think it was something like that. He was like, I'm going to remove it. He said, I don't want to be any part of this. I just want to make it clear I'm not a part of that press conference. So you knew right away he was pissed off about something. The demeanor in which he did it, you already knew he was loaded for bear.
Well, I mean, there could be felony negligence charges, if there is such a thing, for either bad infrastructure or not constructing it to withstand an anchor hitting a pipe.
Well, and here's the thing, we all know, I mean, you know, Todd's been on our station, I mean, he's got a history with our station for many years, and he's not afraid of the cameras or the mic, and he certainly got up there, and what I didn't expect is that he turned around and he's like, I want to thank everyone for their hard work, and by the way, that CEO over there is full of crap, basically is what he said. Because he's like, he starts in one phrase, he's like, you know, blah, 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 and then he turns around and says, but I am very disappointed in the CEO because this is what they should have done, this is what happened, and then he just went, I mean, he just full throttle. And I was like, oh, man.
Yeah, well, that's what we need here. Well, and then we've been looking at their statements, and the CEO just started talking about the money that they are going to spend in the future. And if you look into the middle of the story, wherever the LA Times buried it, you find out that the budget was cut in the recent past for infrastructure maintenance.
Sure. So, Todd, I couldn't believe it. You know, it's kind of impressive. Todd got up there and just kind of did his thing and threw that CEO into the bus. And outed him right there in front of everybody and saying, you know, we're not happy with this. But the thing that got me is I didn't even think about is that we want our own divers down there. That company is going to, you know, tell us what they want us to know. So we need our own divers down there to tell us
because they could end up with billions of dollars in judgments against them, so their guys are going to minimize the damage or blame some act of God.
So some documents have been posted online. Called the Oil Spill Prevention and Response Plan Data Unit Complex. It's part of the Risk and Hazard Analysis and Vulnerability Analysis Statement.
Is it these company documents?
Yeah.
From the Amplify?
No. Somebody else is posting them. And starting to show some interesting, they're doing scenarios, worst-case scenarios. And it suggested that whoever the post is, and I to clarify right now, I have no way to independently confirm this, but the poster suggests that the safety systems that were supposed to be in place did not work. and that whatever they had in place and in motion did not work in this case. So that's going to be an interesting point. Also, at least one assembly member and 2 state senators have already sent a letter asking for a declaration of emergency to the governor so that they can do this. And they said they were made aware of it on Friday. Now, Martin Wilshire from Amplify says they were not made aware of it till Saturday. So he's suggesting that the leak perhaps didn't happen till Saturday. Everyone is pointing to Friday.
Yeah, right. Residents said they smelled some foul air Friday.
So if there's a lot of people saying we smelled it or saw it on Friday, how does the oil company not become aware of it until Saturday unless he's lying? Or he wasn't told everything. It's possible he wasn't told the whole story. It's possible that they, you know what, you said something earlier too that caught my attention, is that it surprises me that there are no sensors of any kind along these pipes. And maybe there are, and maybe that's part of the failure that this posting is talking about. But because when you have a leak, that immediately changes the pressure. Yeah, exactly. Inside. And you would think that the gauges, which you presume are digital by now, right, not still analog, and that somebody could access it from their home. And you're looking at it going, whoa, wait a minute, there was a big shift in pressure there. Yeah. You know, I don't know. We're being very pedestrian about it, but I would say it's not that complicated. It's oil flowing through a pipe. And I can't believe the pipe is not double or triple encased. So in case there is a break in the inner pipe, the oil is still caught and kept from going into the ocean. That doesn't seem to be that complicated. In fact, that's how the cargo ships are designed, to have a bladder system in place. Yeah, right. They have double-hulled ships now, ever since, I think, the Exxon Valdez. It became a U.S. law. Now, those lawmakers I was telling you about that wrote the letter to the governor have said they have been told by experts that this spill is worse than the Refugio spill in Santa Barbara. The one from 2015? Yeah. They say it's worse than that. So they're asking for immediate declaration to free up some money and cut red tape and whatnot. But, yeah, you know, and the CEO said, he said right there at the press conference, you know, we're expected to pay for everything. He said, we'll pay for everything. We're going to pay for everything. Yeah, well, they got insurance to cover this sort of thing.
All right, Steve, thank you.
Very good. Bye, guys.
All right, as of this morning, they're claiming that they recovered 3,250 gallons of oil from the water. Again, it's supposed to be about 126,000. And many beaches are closed. Basically, we're talking about Huntington, Laguna, Newport, Crystal Cove, Huntington State Beach closed. Seems to be going all the way down to Dana Point because this oil is moving southeasterly. Todd Spitzer, the Orange County DA, is next.
Johnny Ken Show, KFI, and Deborah Marquez News.
Beaches from Malibu to San Pedro have been closed because of lightning strikes in the area. The LA County Fire Department lifeguards have warned people who are around the beaches and harbors to get inside as soon as possible. A brush fire in Irwindale has grown to about 4 acres. It started this afternoon near West Foothill Boulevard in the San Gabriel River. The European Union's drug regulator says it supports booster shots of Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine for people 18 and older. Some countries in the EU have already started giving booster shots. We're going to go to 2:10, and we will check in with the KFI and Sky next.
Are your teeth, your whole mouth a disaster area? You need a state of emergency declared because of all the rot and decay? Well, Cutting Dental has new permanent teeth in a day that will dramatically change your life. They have zirconia teeth. They look completely natural. Right size, right shape, right color. Everything is custom made to fit in your mouth and give you a beautiful, dazzling smile. But these teeth are stronger and more resistant to cracking, chipping, and staining. These are better teeth than what you were born with. You will bite and chew like you used to. You'll be able to smile in photos again. You'll be more confident, more attractive, way more attractive. There's a free seminar on Saturday the 9th in Irvine, this Saturday. Meet real patients that got new sets of teeth at Cutting Dental. You get $1,500 off your procedure. Offer expires November 30th. You have a no-money down payment plan on approved credit and use your dental insurance by the end of the year. You lose it. Call Cutting Dental, 888-640-SMILE, 888-640-SMILE, 888-640-SMILE.
Get Wendy's bacon or sausage, egg, and Swiss breakfast croissant for $1.99. This hot buttery croissant is fluffy enough to sleep for. Wakey, wakey, get a better breakfast for just $1.99. Only at Wendy's.
Southland weather from KFI. It will be sunny tomorrow afternoon with highs in the mid-70s to low 80s. This report brought to you by Wendy's. Still slow on the 210 in Pasadena.
For that eastbound side, it's backing up from Mountain, not as bad as last check, but we're still seeing delays there. Those eastbound, the eastbound flowing takes you all the way to Azusa. More delays ahead in Upland from Baseline as you travel to the 15. Now, you know what's really slow is the 110 freeway. Looking at the southbound side, that's jammed from the 5 all the way towards Manchester. And the northbound side of the 110 backing up from Pacific Coast Highway, and that takes you all the way back to the 5 freeway. The drive on the southbound side of the 405 in the Sepulveda Pass slowing down from Getty Center. It's looking pretty dense and slow as you travel all the way into Inglewood. And then it remains slow, but just not as bad as that first half of the drive. We travel all the way towards the 605. KFI in the sky helps get you there faster. I'm Angel Martinez.
This report is sponsored by MGM Resorts. At MGM Resorts, we know this is no time to return to normal. It's time for the time of your life in Vegas at MGM Resorts.
You spend a lot of time indoors, cooking, binge watching, working, playing. So call the pros at Coit to keep your environment clean and healthy. Our certified technicians sanitize, disinfect, and deep clean surfaces and air ducts. We offer commercial services and restoration for emergencies too. So relax. The pros at Coit are on it. Save 30% on select services. Call 800-4COIT or visit Coit.com today.
Here's what you need to know about the Pfizer COVID-19 booster. Not everyone needs one. Those who should receive a booster are 65 and older, long-term care residents, and those 50 to 64 with underlying medical conditions. Consider a booster if you're 18 to 49 with underlying medical conditions, or 18 to 64 with a high risk of COVID exposure at work. Only get a booster if it's been at least 6 months since you received your second dose of Pfizer. Find a booster near you at myturn.ca.gov. Brought to you by the California Department of Public Health.
Many Wall Streeters are predicting the inflation plane is ready to take off. At Owning, we still have a few refi seats left, with 30-year fixed 2.75% rate in APR, with no closing costs on them. If the experts are right and the inflation plane flies high, APRs this low may be a distant dream. Don't mess around. Call 833-2-OWNING or go to owning.com before the refi market flies completely away from you. Maybe the experts are wrong and rates don't go up any higher. But if they're right, and the plane is flying with mortgage rates reaching the floor, you'll kick yourself hard that you didn't grab a seat now. Don't be a dummy. Save some money.
NMLS 2611, licensed by the Department of Financial Protection and Innovation under the California Residential Mortgage Lending Act. Subject to credit approval. Call 823-852-6464 for terms and conditions. Equal housing lender.
Call 833-2-OWNING for a 30-year fixed refi with a 2.75% rate in APR today. That's 833-2-OWNING or owning.com.
Amazon delivery service partners are hiring full-time delivery drivers to meet growing customer demand. Receive competitive compensation of at least $18.50 per hour at select stations, plus benefits and a sign-on bonus of $2,000 from participating DSPs if you apply now. No delivery experience required. Must be 21 years or older. Terms apply. Apply today at www.amazon.com/LA delivery driver. That's www.amazon.com/LA delivery driver.
When Joe and I needed new windows over 2 years ago, we picked a company we thought would do a good job. We were so disappointed.
So we saw a genuine need for a company with strong character, one that people could have faith in.
American Vision Windows was born right then and there.
What sets American Vision Windows apart is easily the culture. Their greatest investment is in their employees, and it shows.
They're the greatest store. I couldn't ask for anything better.
I've been in the construction trade for 35 years. The level of quality of products that they use for their prep work was top-notch.
American Vision Windows continues to revolutionize the home improvement industry, one customer at a time, while changing the lives of our employees for the better. It's so simple.
Happy employees, happy customers.
For a limited time, American Vision Windows will pay the tax. Plus, you won't need to make payments for 6 whole months. Call 888-226-9908. That's 888-226-9908. Or visit AmericanVisionWindows.com. Approved credit not allowed for people qualified. Restrictions apply. Call our website for details. Offer ends 10/31/2021.
Find yourself in Spain. Visit Café Sevilla in the heart of downtown Costa Mesa, San Diego, and Long Beach. Enjoy live Gypsy King-style music and late-night dining in the Tapas Bar 7 nights a week. Or experience our dazzling flamenco dinner show every weekend. With the holidays fast approaching, Sevilla offers private event spaces that will wow your guests. Dine like a true Spaniard and toast the holidays with a steaming pan of paella and festive sangria. Visit cafesevilla.com for more info. Olé!
Now, look who's back. Bill Handle returns. Morning on KFI AM 640. More stimulating talk.
John and Ken Show. John Cobell and Ken Campo, KFI AM 640, live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. When you hear this executive, Mark Wilshire of Amplify, and they own the oil platform and the pipe that burst and leaked the oil. Remember, his primary duty is to shareholders, and Amplify stock was down 43% at the end of trading today. So everything he's going to say publicly is to boost that stock up. It was down over 60% at one point. And that's all he cares about. And so every talking point that's crafted by his crisis managers is aimed for getting shareholders to buy the stock so they can recover the loss.
This weird front of thunder and lightning moving through